another episode of Words of Wisdom from the Wise. And today we're going to talk about the false image of Christ and the effect that it has had on the world. All right, so let's just jump right in. Now, I'm going to start off with Christ because it's the right thing to do. And a lot of the times in Christian churches, you see the picture of a white man. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't against white people. I got white friends. But at the end of the day, that's not Christ. That's another Christ. You understand what I'm saying? And you often hear people say, oh, color doesn't matter. Listen, if it didn't matter, they wouldn't have changed it. Color means everything. Nationality means everything, because with that comes lineage. You understand what I'm saying? All things are relative. No, it's not. Christ came for a specific people. He said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And then knowing who Christ came for, you're going to know that they're so-called black people. You understand? You're going to know that. So color is important. And that's the most ignorant thing I can ever hear, because if they change how he looks, they're going to change what he did. They're going to change his purpose. They're going to change who he came for. Why change it if it doesn't matter? No, it doesn't matter to them, but it means everything to us. So with that being said, you guys, let's jump right in. And you know how I feel, like the Most High be true and every man a liar. Something. Matthew 24:4. And Christ answered, Yeshua, which means Savior, answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. So Christ told his disciples immediately, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. So Christ put his day. He's letting us know that those that are going to deceive the world in mass numbers are going to be those that use his name. Peep game. This is what he told his disciples when they asked him. And he started off saying, listen, take heed that no man deceive you. Many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. That's the religion you have to look out for. That's the main one, because Islam, we already know that's a whole different thing. But Christianity, those religions using Christ, we're thinking like, okay, well, they got Christ. They're talking about God. This must be it. No, they couldn't destroy the truth, so they decided to infiltrate the truth. Wisdom of Solomon in your apocryphas. Prayerfully you have one, because you don't have a complete Bible without it. You can either get this or the 1611 King James with the Bible and the apocrypha in the back. King James, Wisdom of Solomon 14:12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication. So the plan to use idols was the beginning of fornication. The Father is not of idols and all that. He's the living God. We don't have to use idols to bond with him, to deal with him, to receive anything from him. That's pagan. That's satanic. And the invention of them, the corruption of life. Yes, when their whole plan with creating idols was to corrupt life. You understand? Cause people to go astray. Create stumbling blocks for those that were unlearned, and those that were unsure, and just waking up out of their grave like we all are. You understand? Isaiah 2:8. Their land also is full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made. So this is nothing new. Isaiah is telling us they've been worshiping idols way back then. So it's nothing for them to worship idols and then bring it to us and cause us to be deceived by worshiping idols and do it with trickery. That's what Satan is. Satan does. It's the wiles of the devil. It's the tricks of him. He's He's a deceiver. You understand? So he don't care whether you know that you're serving him or not. He just needs your energy and you to serve him. You understand what I'm saying? Oh yeah, go ahead and think that that's Christ. And I don't know how. Listen, if it's a white man up there, that's not my Lord and Savior. That's not him. It's just not him. It's just not him. I'm not going to just overlook color. I'm not just going to overlook color. No. Wisdom of Solomon 14:8. But that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it as he that made it. He, because he made it, and it, because being corruptible, it was called God. Whoa! That which was made with hands is corruptible, and those that made it, because it was called God. That's not, listen, there are many gods, but it's not the God of all gods. And this is what they're trying to portray to the world. Deceiving people. Wisdom of Solomon 14:15. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he have made an image of his son, of his child soon taken away, now honor him as a god, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. So this is telling us in Apocrypha that this guy had wanted his child passed, his son passed untimely, and created ceremonies and sacrifices for this son and an image. Let's not forget. Don't forget, keep that in your mind, the image. The 16. Thus, in the process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law, and graven image were worshipped by the commandments of kings. So look at this. This was a law, and if you don't, this was a law back then to practice these things. And the same way they're doing now, creating laws in order to have us worship and be pagans and worship Satan by calling it laws. It's the same thing that they were doing back then with these images, these graven images. They knew what they were doing, so they're like, okay, we're going to use law against them. That's what they do. And they're doing it the same thing. They're reading from the same playbook. Nothing has changed. Why change something that works? Wisdom of Solomon 14:17. Whom men could not honor in presence because they dwelt far off. They took the counterfeit of his visage. They took the counterfeit of his face. Counterfeit is fake. So they took the counterfeit of this so-called Christ, his fake face, which was who? Caesar Borgia. And his father, Rodrigo Borgia, which was a pope back then. From far, and made an express image of a king whom they honored to the end that by this their forwardness they might flatter him that was absent as if he were present. So they're trying to make the king feel better. They're trying to make the king feel better. They're trying to actually flatter Caesar Borgia, but he's dead and gone. We know the scriptures already said he died untimely, and his father was afflicted because of it. They're trying to flatter his father. Like, look here, look at what we got here. Making a false image of Christ. Yeah, we're going to deceive the world with this. And this is exactly what they did. This whole thing, this is what I'm saying. You know that you are under some level of sorcery and witchcraft when you can honestly know and read in the Bible that Christ is a man of color. But you can look up here and see a white man and still call him your Lord and Savior and say it don't matter. That's high level witchcraft and sorcery on the people, because they refuse to listen and follow the scriptures as they are. Sorry about that. Wisdom of Solomon 14:18. Also the singular diligence of the craftsman, of the skilled craftsman, did help to set forward the ignorant to more superstition. So the craftsman, good with his hands, doing the paintings, Verse 19, for he peradventure, willing to please one in authority, forced all his skills to make the resemblance of the best fashion. So now they're in a competition. Remember the Renaissance period? Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci was doing it for who? Rodrigo Borgia, for the image of his son. Had a competition. Leonardo da Vinci won. You understand? Who? Rodrigo Borgia was a pope back then. So this is during the Renaissance period. This is history. So I'm not saying anything foreign. You know what I'm saying? You guys could check it out and look it up. This is truth in the scriptures. Verse 20, Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 20.